What's poppin' T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I am here with my all tea, all shade, ready to love season 4, episode 8 review. Tonight's episode was fantastic. I give it an A+. They came with it tonight. So the episode starts off with the ladies meeting up with Tommy and his wife at their home, and he tells them that he wants the ladies to introduce the guys to their exes. So the ladies start sweating bullets because they were not expecting this at all. Vernisha and her ex David meet with Full House. Right off the bat, I'm looking like David and Full House are total opposites. David comes across like a nigga to me, like he be in the club popping bottles, he got paper, like not to say that Full House doesn't, but they just seem like total opposites. He seems like more the flashy type or whatever. Whereas Full House seems to be a little bit more laid back, go to a bar type dude, go play pool. He seems like that type of guy. Um, so Vernisha arrives and she is wearing something super tight and short, child. She got on this little leather dress showing her thighs and stuff. And I was like, get it, bitch. She was making sure that she looked good for her ex nigga and her new nigga. And it was funny to me because she and David were actually dressed alike. I'm like, why didn't this work out? Like, why y'all not together? Because to me, they look better together than her and Full House. So, we then see Flea introduces Ron, aka Kyrie's daddy, to her ex Joseph. This was the man that she got with before her ex-husband. So Full House walks into the date dressed like Ron from What's Happening. I don't know what was going on with that newsboy cap, with that cardigan that was like a school cardigan. It was very childish. And as soon as he walked in, David looked at him like, this the nigga she like? Like, this the nigga she got me beaten with? Like, you gotta be motherfucking kidding me. I know he was clowning Full House after them cameras went down because he looked at him like, this whack ass nigga here? Like, Vernisha, really, bitch? So, Full House thought that he might have been like her brother or cousin, something like that. He didn't even know that this was her ex. So then we go back to Flea and Ron, and Ron says, he's not intimidated at all by meeting Flea's ex, Joseph. So Joseph asks him how would he react in an argument, and Ron was like, I argue like a guy. Words of affirmation aren't my strong suit. Child, I told y'all from the casting special when I said that he looked like Kyrie's daddy, that this nigga wasn't no motherfucking good. I told you niggas, I told you. So at this point, Fleet kind of side-eyed him. So like basically, you don't give a fuck about others' feelings when you're arguing. Like you just say what the fuck ever and you don't give a fuck. That's basically what he was saying. I was like, that's Kyrie's daddy, child. So Full House asked David, is Vernisha clingy? And dude was like, no. But you could tell by the look on Vernisha's face that she felt some type of way about him asking it, like, the fuck? Like, hmm? These dudes is just something else on this show, child. So Ron asks Joseph, is he a religious man? Because he dripping in religion, like it's dripping up off of him. And I'm looking like, I know you lying, Satan. Girl, I would have been put that nigga up out my house. So Ron says, that he left the church because he had a bad experience. He thinks that all pastors just try to take people for their money, this, that, and the third. And I'm looking like I knew this nigga didn't have no goddamn faith or God in him. Like everything about him is very materialistic, very just worldly, like no substance there. That's why him and Chrysanthemum would make the perfect couple. And I can bet money by the time we get to this reunion, him and Chrysanthemum will be together because they are perfect, because they're both very vapid people. So, Flea is very concerned now with hearing him say all of this. So we go back to Vernisha and she brings up that she's big on communication and that Full House isn't. He was like, would you like to tell me, like, how is that possible? And so she tells a story about how they were supposed to meet up. after he got done handling some business. And he told her he would call her when he was done. So she set up and waited on him for 3 hours, hadn't got no call. So she hit him, was like, "Are you still, doing whatever you were doing?" And he responds back saying, "If I haven't called you, that means that plans have changed." Who you talking to? Girl, I knew it was something up with this nigga. I knew it was something up with him. So he's selfish. He's selfish. That's what it is about Full House. He's a selfish man. He don't ooh, baby, I wouldn't even responded. Wouldn't have responded. He would have never heard nothing else to me because you already showing me that you don't give a fuck about me, my time, and you're disrespectful as fuck. You don't do no shit like that. How the fuck am I supposed to read your mind that to think that, oh, if he ain't called me by now, that means something that came up? Nigga, communicate. Nigga, say that. We old as fuck. Like, who acts like that? You acting like a little teenage boy. Bitch, you would never hear from me again. Boy, bye. Girl, boy, bye. Girl, girl, she already was looking past your fashion choices up here wearing blazers with t-shirts and wearing newsboy caps and shit, looking like you want to hip hop and hip and tip and hip it. Like, boy, bye. So, then we go back. No, I'm sorry. Then David asked him, well, could y'all have handled that situation better? And Full House was like, yeah, I could have this, that, and the third. I'm looking at him like, bitch, nigga, bye. So go back to Flea and Ron, and Ron says that he'll never be a super religious person, and that you know it's important for her to have a man of faith. So Ron says, that Flea is the type that will pray on things and leave it up to God, but he's not the type to pray on it. He just gonna go and get it. I told you that was Kyrie's daddy. Like, if him and Kyrie's daddy could be fucking twins, the way they look, the way their mindset is, they're very both superficial, airhead ass niggas. Child, like, girl, I told you that nigga wasn't shit, and that all them women needed to run for the fucking hills. And I'm like, cute for you, sir. Cute for you. But baby, when that day of reckoning come for that big box head ass nigga, I feel sorry for him, and I wouldn't want to be nowhere near him when it come raining down on that nigga. So Flea in her confessional says, when it comes to Ron, I don't know what decision I'm gonna make. And this is where women fuck up. Because what do you mean you don't know what decision you're going to make? This man has blatantly told you he's not a religious man. He's not going to pray on anything. That is not him. He's not going to do it. You're a very religious person. This is something that you require for yourself and for your son. So what the fuck do you mean you don't know what you're going to do? This is where women mess up. Like, he's telling you what it is, and you still trying to figure out a way to be with this motherfucker. Then if you end up with him, and then you're crying 6 months later because this nigga don't want to pray and don't want to go to church, well, the nigga told you from day one. Like, come on, people, do better. Do the fuck better. You have to get to a point in your life where you stand on your morals and your values, and you don't waste your time or somebody else's time by trying to make somebody be something that they're not going to be for you. Move the fuck on. There's other fish in the sea. You're hurting yourself at this point. You're blocking your own blessings, girl. So Bernicia invited the ladies to her friend's nail salon, but this whole scene was basically an advertisement, ad placement for Seagrams. It was cute the way they did it though. So Fleeter, she got on her beauty supply jumpsuit, child, just looking bedazzled and cheap and flammable. Flea brings up that she doesn't think that Kyra is ready to close the door on AJ, and she agrees. She was like, no, I'm not. So Kyra don't know what the hell she want to do. She got all the boys coming to her yard. Kyra and Liz are both into Jason and David, and I'm like, this is just a recipe for disaster. Like, at this point, people should be knowing who they riding with at this point, who they want to be with. So this whole foursome is just too much for me. I don't see it for none of them. I don't see it for none of them. Not at all. None of those four. in that foursome. So Liz invites her ex Clarence to meet with David. And I'm looking at the ex like, why you not with him? Like, he is well dressed, well groomed, seems like he has a brain. I'm like, what happened here? Her ex and Vernisha ex both look better than the niggas they trying to be with now. Like, I'm like, what happened here? Like, they just seem like they would both be more well suited with their exes. So she tells Clarence that she has some concerns when it comes to David. She says that when she met with his friends, he asked her off camera in front of his friends, what did she do that day? And she told him, I met up with Jason and his friends earlier. And he gonna make a snide comment and say, oh, did you kiss him again? So now we've pinpointed what's wrong with this nigga. Oh, he's crazy. He's crazy and he's jealous. So when he was talking all that shit last week, like I said, he was feeling some type of way about her kissing Jason, and that was why he called himself pulling away from her. He is an emotional manipulator, and we'll get more into that in a second. So she says that she was embarrassed by it because, she told him that in confidence and she didn't have to tell him shit because I wouldn't have told him nothing. So Clarence says that, I don't like that. They ain't sitting right with me, Bernie. So David walks in confused as to who Clarence is. So Liz introduces them and David says, it's a pleasure or whatever. And Clarence bypasses that child and cuts straight to the chase. So David was like, oh, it's not a pleasure. So he was like, I got a question to set the tone and understand the relationship. So he's one of those people that likes to control the narrative, control the temperature in the room. He want to get his shit out first and lead the conversation. And he don't want nobody to disrupt him, dispute him. Like he has to be the alpha in the room or whatever. So he was like, I got a question to set the tone and understand the relationship. When was the last time there was any love or intimacy with y'all? And I'm looking like, "Oh." And Liz and Clarence were both put off by this because, like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like, what? Like, he is now I see why his ex wife left him because he is emotionally abusive. He is jealous. He is a jealous man. And if you do something that he doesn't like, instead of him coming out and say it, he then likes to emotionally batter you. And that is who David is. And that is what he's been doing to Liz ever since she told him that she kissed Jason. You see, she said in this episode, they ain't been talking much. He told her that everything was all good. He wasn't feeling no type of way, but his actions showed something different. And then he tries to put it off on her like she's the one that has the problem. Boy, I peep your game. I done dealt with you before, Satan. Boy, bye. So Liz realized that when he said that he was good about the kiss, that he actually wasn't. Clarence says to David, how important is communication to you? And David was like, probably the most important thing. I want a woman that is a safe place no matter what I tell her. So Clarence was like, so do you feel like you're a safe place for her? And David was like, oh yes. So Clarence was like, okay, because prior to your arrival, she shared with me something she told you in confidence, a kiss with somebody else, and she felt betrayed that you mentioned it in front of your friends. So how do you feel you be in a safe place after doing that? And I was like, you better come on, Clarence. You better take him to court, bitch. So David was like, so this is more to Liz. If you told me moving forward, Dave, I don't feel comfortable with certain things you may share, then I have to learn from you. No, it ain't even the case. You took a dig at her because you were feeling some type of way and you wanted to make her feel bad. Bitch, please. So Clarence was like, did you notice what her gesture suggested in that moment? He was like, no. So Clarence was like, did it matter to you? And David was like, it's not that it didn't matter, knowing how I see you, how I value you, and the platform I put you on. You are solid to me. I mean that. Ain't no other Liz. And it's like, okay, he's abusive emotionally. So since he couldn't figure out a way out of his shit, he then wanted to shower her with compliments in front of the ex to make it seem like he's a good guy, but behind the scenes he's gonna continue to give her his ass to kiss. Boy, mm. So Liz in her confessional peep game that he ain't being honest and truthful about how he's coming across. So Liz sitting there looking like a battered wife. Like I literally felt like she was like, help me. Like So she finally says to him, I'll be honest, I have felt a disconnect with you, and it really solidified that day. David then says, this whole conversation and you being here and her being here, I want to like bring down the strength in the room right now. And I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Bring down the strength in the room. Oh, you don't want them to question you? You don't like the fact that they're actually questioning the bullshit that's coming out of your mouth? And baby Clarence cleared his ass real quick and was like, I'm an alpha. I don't know how to be weak. And I was like, my panties are fucking drenched, nigga. Sopping wet. Liz, here's your husband right here, bitch. You better throw them titties on the glass, bitch, and say what's up to him. Because fuck this psychopath right here. You're going to be sleeping with the enemy. So David was like, you know what? It's time for me to go, whatever. And in his confessional, he gonna tell me, I don't like that. We grown. I want to make sure that we speak to each other one on one without a third party being involved. Was you being grown when you took a dig at her in front of your friends? Make it make sense, Satan. And then you talking about you don't want no third party being involved. Bitch, you're on a reality show. You know exactly what's going on. Stop it with the foolishness. So Clarence was like, yo, he a smooth talker. He gonna tell you what you want to hear. And I was like, exactly. He gets the women with this woe is me shit, playing the victim. I've been hurt. Everybody's done me wrong. Boo hoo me. I believe in Jesus. I want a praying wife. But then on the back end of it, he's emotionally manipulative and abusive. Boy, bye. It all makes sense now. Boy, run. So Kyra introduces Shark Tales to her ex Timothy via Zoom or whatever. Amber introduces her ex Tony to Chris. Shark Tales says, to Timothy, how does she handle stressful situations? Talking about Kyra. Timothy was like, she's not one of those people that let things go. So now Shark Tales is wondering, is she not good with opening up? Tony then asked Chris how many kids he wants, and he was like, 5. And Amber was shocked by his, number, but says that she's fine with it. And you could tell, like, the Tony dude was looking like, are you for real? So she said that, she would rather be a mother over a wife any day and that she's going to have children. I really see it for Amber and Chris. I can really see them dating, maybe even getting married or being in a long lasting relationship. They're the only people that I can honestly see, if they choose each other in the end, being with each other and actually building upon something. I don't really see it for nobody else on this show at all. So Shark Tales asks, is Kyra financially responsible? And her ex Timothy says she knows how much she has. Is that still different from having a budget? Kyra, you can tell, was super embarrassed and looking like, nigga, shut the fuck up. And I was like, well, bitch, you chose the wrong ex, because he telling all your tea. I low key felt a little bad for her, but I mean, you're on a reality show. These are the things that you have to do. I wouldn't even be able to call none of my exes because I don't like none of them niggas. Like, I don't talk to none of them niggas. None of my exes would have showed up. So Short Tails is now worried because now he realizes she might not know how to communicate and she's bad with money. So now he got several red flags when it comes to her. Chris is at the table with Amber and Timothy, and he picking up this vibe between them because neither one of them wants to come up and say why they broke up. And immediately I'm like, because he's gay. Like, you can look at them lips and tell he got dick sucking lips. He like what she like. Duh. So then when they finally admitted, I was like, duh. Like, you can see it. So, Flea, Liz, AJ, and Shark Tale's going to double date. Flea says that she's scared of AJ because she's scared he'll break her heart. Shark Tale says in his confessional that he's confused about Kyra now. He puts the moves on Liz like he's straight going for her, trying to kiss her, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, you don't really want Liz, boy. You just want to make it to the end of this fucking show so you can continue to get paid every week. And you and Liz aren't a good match at all. I just don't see it for them. So Flea tells AJ he's the type that she could fall in love with, and that the reason she chose Ron is because he chose her, which is the stupidest shit I ever heard. Yes, we all want to be chosen by a man or whatever, but that ain't shouldn't be the reason why you started fucking with him is because he took some type of initiative. Like initiative is great, but is that all? Like what you can tell that you probably was fucking with Ron so you could stay on the show, so you can make the guys that you actually like probably jealous. Like I just don't understand these folks. So Shark Tales steps in and was like, it seems like she's saying that you haven't said I'm going to pursue you. And AJ says, I haven't said that to anyone. And the fact that we're this point in the show and you still haven't chosen anyone says a lot about him. Child, he ain't there for you hoes. He there for the fucking attention, for the TV time, and for craft services. Cause the nigga ain't got no fucking money. Boy, the boy is there for the free food and their weekly stipend. Boy, bye. So Flea was like, I'm looking for someone to make a decision in their heart. And so AJ, as she's going off, says, Can you just shut up real fast? And he kisses her. And this is what he does every time somebody backs him up in a corner to make a decision or to say how he feels. He wants to go with the touchy-feely, trying to whoop women. Girl, it's all a tactic, and she fell for it like an idiot. And then he gonna tell her, I'm gonna be serious in the pursuit of you. Gag me with a spoon. So the ladies beat up with Tommy and his wife again at their home. Liz dressed like she going to the Trumpet Awards. I don't know where she was going with that horrific top. Bernicia says that David said that he likes Full House for her. I don't see it, Bernie. Flea tells them what Ron did on the date or whatever, and Tommy asks her, does this make her feel different about him? Because every Sunday, y'all gonna go through this. And she starts to cry, and she gets very emotional. And I'm like, why are you even getting emotional about this shit? Like, you know that nigga ain't the one for you. Like, let it go. Let it go. Literally, become Elsa and let it go. So Liz tells them that she saw a different side of David after their meeting with Clarence. Tommy asks if the process ended that night, who would they leave with? And Kyra and Liz both say Shark Tales. And I was like, okay, all right. You bitches must like pain. You bitches must like to get bit and cut and scraped. So if that's what you like, I love it. So Bernicia says Full House. Amber chooses Chris, and Flea tells them about her kiss with AJ. And Kyra, baby, was feeling some type of way. She gulped down the rest of her wine because low key she's still feeling AJ too. These hoes don't know who the fuck they want. These niggas don't want their asses. Child, this is a mess. So at the end of the episode, Flea meets up with Ron, and Liz meets up with David. She hasn't talked to David in a while, which says everything. Flea brings up to Ron, him saying that Joseph was dripping in religion and says that it was kind of judgy, and him saying he wouldn't pray, how that made her feel. And Ron says, I didn't say don't pray. I'm a household leader. That's me and my divine masculine, which I don't know how long you've had that in your daily presence. I don't even know what that means. I'm not going to even sit up here and try to pretend like I understand what the fuck this nigga said. All I know is it was offensive, and Flea felt some type of way and I felt some type of way because this nigga was being condescending. And I'm like, how the hell you got the nerve to be condescending when your head is shaped like my iPro? My iPro earbuds, bitch. Like, how in the hell do you have the nerve to walk around here acting like you King Tut, my nigga, with you and that lips? And you talk with your tongue, nigga. Tongalinus is your new name. Boy, the fuck bye. I don't even know what that shit mean. Basically, he was trying to say, I'm the god of the house. That's what I took from that. And I just, not today, Satan, not over here. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, you boxhead ass nigga. So Ron and his confessional gonna talk about something. I mean, you can stay there and pray for me, but I'm out the door handling the situation. You go ahead. You go right ahead, boo. You go right on the head. So she then we switch back to Liz and David. And once again, he's trying to control the conversation, control the narrative. She goes to say her piece, and he tells her, no, 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 let me talk, let me talk. She like, no, I came here to talk to you. Let me speak. So now they standing up, going back and forth about who gonna speak first. So then we switched back to Flea and Ron, and she was like, you were my number one. And I was happy because it was like a man chose me. And I was like, girl, why did you say that this is to this nigga? He is about to ram you in the head with it. So Ron was like, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It was kind of like you were looking for validation. And he's right. She was looking for some type of validation from a man, which is horrible. And I was like, well, your girl, you did it. So Flea was like, but wait a minute. Are you on this whole thing where um, I'm gonna say what she want? So I'm gonna say she the one because of what she can offer me. And Ron was like, offer me, offer me. You can't offer me anything. And I was like, baby, him and Chrysanthemum are going to make a great couple. Great couple. Great surface level couple. And when the money run out, we gonna see how much love they actually got, child. So she is looking like, I know you lying. So she was like, the way that you perceive yourself comes across very condescending. And he was like, you do that to me more than I do that to you. And I was like, well, he do got you there because you do come across very condescending as well. But girl, so we get back to David and Liz, who steady arguing about who gonna speak first. um he keep on cutting her off and she keeps saying no, let me speak. And then he tries to shut her up by kissing her and she was like, no, David, no. And then it goes off on some to be continued type shit. Girl, throw these niggas in the trash. The only one on this motherfucker that got a little taste of sense and I feel like is actually there for love is Chris. Everybody else is T-rash to me. I think Shark Tales might be interested in a relationship, but I don't think that he really know who he want to be with for real, for real. The rest of these niggas is trash. Girl, fuck these niggas. They all bogus and whack as hell to me now. Ugh. Ugh. Please, somebody run Ron ass over with a bus. David is fucking scary and crazy. He needs to be in a Hitchcock movie with his crazy psychotic ass. Joelle is self-centered and selfish as fuck. Jason, Shark Tails and his teeth just scare the shit out of me. He needs to be somewhere in the deep blue sea under the sea. He needs to be somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. He needs to be on the Discovery Channel with somebody to examine them goddamn fossil teeth of his, child. I just cannot. Baby, throw all these niggas away, throw Flea's wigs away. I'm so tired of this curly Pharrell, what's her name? Rochelle Pharrell hairstyle that she got on. Meet me in the champagne room, her she got on. I just don't understand these fashions, child. Everybody want Kyra for what reason? I don't know. The bitch ain't proved that she worth a damn. Like, I don't even know why they want her. Bernicia is a hood bitch that's trying to do different. That's trying to be different, child. Who else? Liz ain't finding not nothing that she want on this damn show. Girl, they done drove me to drink. I'm about to go eat my food. I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching this review. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.